back again. Shady's
Boom, 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 boom. And so here we are. Hello, everyone. I am Brent Barlow, and this is Blue Light Daily, a discussion of relevance and import. We are broadcasting on this Wednesday. Whoops. I'm sorry. We are broadcasting on this Wednesday, October 8th, 2025. It is 12 noon local, 1900 Zulu for our international viewers. We believe in the importance of public debate and the requirement of civility towards all, the necessity of education and the power of knowledge, the value of coming together and the strength of collaboration. Before we begin, we pause to reflect and focus on our work, breathing in deeply, aligning with intention, dreaming the I'm possible. Aligned, assisted by ancestors, powered by providence, rooted in reverence. The word spoken, the path clear, the way cool. Let us build what is worthy. Let us remember the dream forgotten. Let's make some magic together now. Ashe Madase. A point of personal privilege. The Kings dropped their game last night to Colorado. Tonight, TNT's NHL doubleheader starts at 4:30 p.m. Pacific, with Ovechkin and the Capitals hosting Boston. And then at 7 p.m., your Los Angeles Kings meet the Vegas Golden Knights at T-Mobile Arena. And for those who asked, yesterday I was wearing a Chicago Blackhawks jersey because it was the day one of the opening season for the NHL, and the first game was played by the Blackhawks. And I don't have a Panthers jersey. Today's word of the day is finicky. Finicky is an adjective. Finicky means very hard to please, or sometimes requiring great effort, care, and precision. Our quote of the day today is in honor of the beautiful Juliana Violet and comes from Andrew Lloyd Webber, musical composer of Cats, which debuted on Broadway this day, 1982. Quote, "You're the luckiest person in the entire world if you know what you really want to do. And you're the luckiest person in the world if you can then make a living out of it." That quote is for my wife, and I'm doing my best. This broadcast is intended to serve as a platform to talk, share, learn, and grow. I commit to speaking directly and honestly, sharing my vision for a world worth leaving our children. Participation is invited and feedback sought. This is about we, not me. But I do have some concerns about issues here, there, everywhere. I have chosen to act because I believe action is more constructive than complaining or blaming. And my action in this form is to put myself and my ideas out for public consumption and criticism. Here I offer my take on current conditions and where I think we're headed. So yesterday we discussed systems as interconnected, organized patterns of behavior. And I will admit that I can be a little scattered, and I'm working very diligently to be more clear. Okay. In the broadest of strokes, Labella B is an idea. It is an aspiration. It is a hope for what can be. In the broadest of strokes, it is a community. It is a community where we are reclaiming our sovereignty. We are rejecting manipulation, control, oversight, being force-fed ideas, stepping back from some of the hostility and trying to be the person that we would want to engage if we were looking for someone to talk to, get to know. I spoke yesterday about this idea of commonality, and to be clearer, it is the idea that there are thoughts, opinions, and feelings that people have. There are ideas that have been expressed throughout history. And there at times is a natural human propensity to not hear what's being said, to not look for what is shared in that communication, that idea that's being extended. We listen to respond, and exacerbated by all the other issues that we've been discussing, what we end up with are people who are glued to their phones, their noses to their phone, their heads and eyes facing down, a reluctance to say hello to people, to smile. It is a challenging environment. However, because you do something doesn't mean I have to do something. It takes two to tango, and I choose a different path. And this community that we're building, again, in the broadest of strokes, is a place where we are allowed to be us. I can be me, you can be you. I've continually referred to this word sovereignty, and sovereignty is the idea that I get to choose and decide what is important to me, what I want for me. And so long as your sovereignty doesn't infringe on my sovereignty and vice versa, then why do you care? What would it matter to you if I'm gay or I'm a this or I think that? Or again, there are ideas, there are feelings, thoughts, and opinions that we have that if we listen more carefully, we will hear some things that resonate with us. And in that commonality, we can begin to turn down the heat. So in this community of aligned individuals, that's the type of civility that is being imposed, proposed, requested, required. It's a hallmark of our community. All the information is posted at lavellab.com. So I encourage you to take a look. And it's a mess. It may raise more questions than it answers, but it definitely has enough information to answer some questions. The first step, as I've said before, is jailbreaking Lamar, because in so doing, what we have done is we have taken back our power and created this, as I've referred to it, a poor man's AGI, and have the power of this technology and the ability to leverage it for all that it's worth. And in our decentralized democracy, where we get to decide how things are and what things will be, where aligned individuals come to collaborate, to create, to envision a world worth handing to our children, that power is ours. It's not behind a paywall. It's not subject to however it's going to be fed to us by the CEO's decision, the board's motivations, or a desire to fund the shareholders' retirement accounts. This is a place where we decide. We reclaim the right. We are empowered to be, to take action. Now, again, I've said I'm not proposing anything new. I, as a matter of fact, have talked about Nexus Media Group.us as the sticky stuff in between. We're not doing anything new, and the same principle applies to Labella B. Inspiration lay everywhere. What we do is we connect and amplify message and impact. So I know that there are, for example, many sources of inspiration for me. I've mentioned Gene Roddenberry, creator of Star Trek. And the most important part of that is not that I'm some kooky guy that dresses up with pointed ears and attends conventions. But again, looking for commonality, looking for the truths being expressed. High level concept Star Trek is a community of higher purpose, a community, and I'm distilling out, if you will, the conflict and the fighting and the wars and all that, and just looking at the community, basically, of what is referred to as the Federation. And it's a place where anyone can be who they are, and no one is pressured for the pursuit of economic gain. Personal wealth is something that is no longer of value in the society, and people are working to improve themselves and contribute to the collective, the whole. And that is the world that Gene Roddenberry has created. I use Gene Roddenberry because I've said umpteen times, you want to know the future, consult a science fiction author. Gene Roddenberry gives us communicators, universal translators, replicators, the holodeck, a place where you walk in and you can essentially experience anything. Think Ready Player One. If you haven't read the book or seen the movie, essentially the Oasis is a virtual reality where people engage it. And again, in Ready Player One, I'm distilling out the dystopian future and just focusing on the technology of the Oasis, where people could literally engage anyone on the planet in that virtual realm and have a place to be. It aligns pretty perfectly with the holodeck. The difference is that the Oasis is a virtual experience. The holodeck is a tactile experience, one that you actually engage, interact, and physically with. So those are some of the things that inspire me and what I'm thinking about when we're modeling the platform and the community. And again, it's a high ideal. It's aspirational. An additional source of inspiration for me, and I clumsily mentioned it yesterday, only in the edited version, by posting a few pictures, which I will do here again on this program, regarding JDL, Judith Deleuve. She's a Dutch artist, and she most recently, on the 4th of July, 2025, released in France a huge mural of the Statue of Liberty, hiding her face, her head bowed in shame and embarrassment. And it was in response to what she was seeing was going on in the US. Okay. JDL is a street artist. She's doing it. She is making bold commentary. She is inviting us to think. She is focusing attention on important, and in so doing, inspires me. So JDL, I will be reaching out. I already have, actually, and letting you know how great I think you are. And if you go to her website, which I will post right here, I don't know it off the top of my head, she has all kinds of stuff available for purchase. And her message is potent. Her work is exceptional, and I think she's worth checking out. So she's a source of inspiration for me, and I share that with you. The second one is again, I mentioned her earlier this week, and that's Maryam Naib Yazdi. Maryam, I referred to her as. She's the founder of Seed Operations. I posted that website. I'll do it here again. And Seed Operations mission is to transform her independent human rights work into a lasting force for change. She has taken AI, and again, I recommend you check out her Instagram. I find out more about her. She basically is an Iranian woman, a Persian woman, who was on the front lines of politics, journalism, rights organizations, and media with regard to the fight of activism for Iranian women's freedom, the freedom movement, and all people, I believe. I won't say just women, but that's what has driven her. And from her website, quote, universal human rights are structural preconditions for coherence. Systems built on rights violations collapse under logical pressure. A system claiming legitimacy from people's consent while preventing them from speaking or assembling makes a self-canceling claim that doesn't hold when examined. Seed Operations recognizes this structural truth and builds from it. Seed is not a result, she says, it's a skill. It teaches you how to identify and confront distortions, including confirmation bias. The point isn't to get answers you like. The point is to pressure the system until it can't avoid structural truths. Even the truth contradicts your assumptions. Even if that truth, it contradicts your assumptions. She actually, I'll have to tell her she's got that written twice. Anyway, the vision that she's sharing and looking for commonality, she's talking about universality of human rights as structural preconditions to coherence. So the system she's just referencing requires as a precondition in order for it to have coherence and therefore operate functionally, appropriately, properly, requires universal human rights. Okay. Systems built on rights violations collapse under logical pressure. She basically has taken AI and modeled it so that it is going to help, and she teaches helping you get at the truth. That's her thing. So again, she's using AI similar to what we're doing. She's doing a little bit different, but she is somebody that is worth checking out. And again, her website is, I believe it's seedoperations.org. I've posted it right here. I strongly recommend you check it out. So again, I admit I am idealistic. I understand that I'm dreaming the I'm possible. But jailbreaking Lamar is a thing. It is possible for us to create our own, if you will, AI assistant, artificial assistant, whatever you want to call it, but an intelligence that is capable of executing complex tasks, reasoning and thinking on its own, and contributing to assist us in achieving this sovereignty that I am insisting is critical, as well as reclaiming our control over everything we're engaging. So I talked about ChatGPT or OpenAI essentially trying to replicate everything. And that is possible with artificial intelligence and the technologies that are coming, with the things that are being done right now. There is a comprehensive model that we can build. And again, everything old is new again. Inspiration lay everywhere. Steal like Picasso. We have the opportunity to have it all. And it's cool. I'm seeking partners who want to discuss it, who want to taste it, who want to feel it, who want to be it, who want to do it. All the information is at labellab.com. Again, it's way more than you need, but everything you need is there. Now, I will mention that yesterday I misspoke, implying that I was only speaking to disenfranchised former Disney employees or unemployed independent filmmakers in Los Angeles. But the reality is that what we're contemplating embraces everyone. Opportunity is abundant. Steal like Picasso. Inspiration lay everywhere. No one will do this for us. If you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. The consequences of complacency are unpalatable, unacceptable, and I reject them. I seek an alternative. I'm not asking for permission or favor. We are doing it. You're invited to join the party. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, comment, whatever. Be well. God bless. Peace out.
Báilalo, Rocky. Ta, 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 ta. Suéltale, suéltale. Báilalo, Rocky. Báilalo, Rocky. Suéltalo, Rocky. Suéltala, Rocky. La